Hello, hello. Welcome to Direct Mail Monday, March 1st, 2021. Steve Sipress here, sharing this week a postcard I received in the mail to use to teach 5 tips to help small business owners and entrepreneurs with all of your advertising, marketing, and sales efforts, both online and offline. Let's get right to it. Tip number 1 is right here. Make sure, in the headline you see up there in the red, make sure that you have an irresistible offer. That's the O in the WOW strategy, which I created to help business owners and entrepreneurs get better results with your advertising and marketing. The irresistible offer, just $1. But when I show you what it is, you'll know that that's an irresistible offer, unless it's something that is in a dollar store. That can be an irresistible offer. Oh, I guess if I showed you the whole thing, it's over $10,999 worth of whatever for a buck for the next 30 days. So that's known as the irresistible offer. Number 2 is what I just showed, is make sure you have an awesome headline. In this case, they have 2 awesome headlines. They put one on this side of the postcard, and they put a different one on the other side of the postcard. So here they have, would you like, this is sent to business owners, and by the way, it is sent from a company that teaches business owners and entrepreneurs, just like I do, how to do effective advertising, marketing, and sales. So there's a little added pressure when those of us that are experts and teachers of advertising and marketing do advertising and marketing, because everyone is watching us to see what we do. So congratulations, they're living up to the pressure here and put together a really good postcard. So here's one headline on one side. It's the idea of the headline to draw people into the rest of the postcard, the copy, the email, the Facebook post, the whatever you're doing. Make sure you have an effective headline that gets people to say, what's that all about? I got to find out more. So they got to read it. So would you like, business owners to send to, would you like to be able to get an ad that kicks ass and takes names for your business in 9 minutes or less without having to type a single keystroke? I got to know what that's all about. 9 minutes or less. I don't even have to type a single keystroke, and I can get an ad that kicks ass and takes names for my business. Boom. I got to find out what that's all about, and I got to read the postcard. Or if I picked up on the other side first, which is what I did, then this is the first headline I would see. Similarly, a kick butt headline. Ignore the postal code coming out there on the top. It kind of blurs it, interferes just a little bit, but not enough to stop you from being able to read it. Get instant access to over $10,997 of direct response marketing legend Dan Kennedy's best video content for just $1 for the next 30 days. And the ... helps to lead me into reading to find out more about it. Just the ... just says there's more about it. So excellent headline. And that's lesson number 2, is make sure you have an excellent headline to whatever you're putting out online or offline, an email, could be a phone call, could be meeting someone in person, could be a brochure, a website, an ad, a postcard, in this case, a sales message, anything at all, a video. Make sure you have an intriguing, powerful headline that gets people to say, I got to know more, so that they actually read the headline. And in this case, bonus tip, they have the headline on both sides. So don't assume that, like, this is the front of the postcard, that's where I'll put the headline, then I'll continue it on the back. Like, you don't know if people pick it up on this side or this side. You got, thanks to a postcard, unlike a Facebook ad or a post online or an email, where the subject line, by the way, is the headline. Here you got 2 chances on a postcard, or even on an envelope. You can put something front and back, but mostly on a postcard is where you get 2 chances to put a powerful headline to get people to read the postcard. So that's number 2. Tip number 3 is it doesn't have to be pretty. Pretty is not the goal. So look at the layout here. It's ugly. There's almost no margins. There's not some pretty images. It's not colorful. It's black on white with plain courier. That's a certain typeface made to look like an old-time typewriter. It's just ugly. It is even, no, it's not justified. It's just an ugly, plain layout, because the content is the key, not the prettiness of the layout. So don't be concerned with, listening to a graphic artist that'll tell you, oh, you got to leave more white space, or it's got to be balanced, or this isn't centered, or this and that's all the crap I've heard for the last few decades when I submit ads to graphic artists. It certainly happened for 3.5 years when I was a consultant with Yellow Pages publisher. They were like, oh, put the ad into the graphics department. I can't. They suck. Their ads are terrible. Well, then I got the okay to set an appointment and go sit with them while they create the ad. Well, they hated that. They're like, oh, not one of your ads again. I hate them. They violate every rule of proper graphic design. They're not centered. There's not plenty of whites. They don't look pretty. They don't that. That's right. They just make my advertisers a ton of cash. And if that's what you want to do with your ad, your goal is to make money with it, which I hope it is. Otherwise, why are you watching my videos or reading this or listening to it wherever you are? If your goal is to make it look pretty, then go somewhere else for advice. I can only help you to make a lot of money. I can't help you to make something that looks pretty just for the sake of being pretty. The one image they have on the whole thing is the image of the product itself. This is some kind of streaming of video. So they have some streaming devices and some monitors, like a laptop or a phone or a TV or desktop or whatever all this is, Apple TV or Hulu, Roku, whatever all these things, Fire Stick, whatever all this is, picture of the product. Now, if instead of a product you have a service, the best image to use is an image of somebody enjoying the service, or at the very least of an excellent example of the result of your service. If you're a kitchen remodeler, best would be somebody smiling in their beautiful redone kitchen, even a before and after, like maybe frowning in the before and then really smiling in the after. Or if you just feel compelled for some reason to leave people out of it, which most business owners do for some reason, at least a picture before and after, or a picture of your great work that you do. That's the image you need, not the stock images of your truck or a wrench or your service works best. And that's number 4. And number 5 is to the call to action, as it's called. So here's the call to action at the bottom, not your big phone number at the top or your website or whatever. It's at the bottom. After people have learned what you can do for them and why they should take action and why they should contact you, that's when you tell them at the very bottom what to do next to take action. And here they have a URL, which is not the URL of the company. So you don't send people to your main website. You don't send them to just because that's your website, your main phone number, because that's your phone number. You want to track it, so you'd use a different phone number in every piece, every email, every ad, every marketing piece, letter, Facebook post, everything. If you use phone numbers, pay a little bit of money for crying out loud and get tracking numbers. You can tell which ones are working and which ones aren't. In this case, you get a vanity URL, spell out what you're looking for people, what they're going to get. So the website here is dankennedyondemand.com/offer. And they might have all kinds of different slashes for different offers in different places. Maybe they have /deal, /special, /March, /whatever, so they can track all the different advertising. But the cool thing is I can remember and I can type in this URL because it means something. I'm going to get Dan Kennedy on demand. So I'm going to type in Dan Kennedy on demand, and you see all the beginning first letters of each word are capitalized, so it's easier to read. If this was all small letters, which you see a lot for some reason, it's hard to read. Dan Kennedy on demand. Sometimes it's easier to read, sometimes more difficult. But why even take a chance, and why make it take even more than a split second? Capitalize each word in your URL. Forget the www at the beginning and all that nonsense. I still hear people doing that in podcasts, radio, TV. Hey, what's your website? It's www. Stop it already, especially if you're paying for a radio or a TV ad and every second is costing you money. Stop with that nonsense. Keep it simple. dankennedyondemand.com/offer. Now, bonus tip. Be careful when you send a piece of mail that the post office will put this kind of strip on the bottom. You can see here 217, so I guess it was mailed a couple weeks ago. on February 17th, and then there's all kinds of whatever, just like they also printed out on the top on the other side. So on this, oops, on this side, it's on the top. Interferes just a little bit with the headline, but it's still readable. Blah, 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 this whole long string of whatever that the post office cares about. But on this side, they actually put it in a strip which blocks out the writing they have at the bottom, right below the call to action, which likely is the website itself. Yeah, I'm sure it is. Get instant access now at. That would be dankennedyondemand.com/offer. And we can see that if I peel off, which don't count on your recipients to do, but I peel off this sticker, and sure enough, there it is. Now I know where to go. Dan Kennedy on Demand. Oh, I didn't peel off the whole sticker. Whatever. Left a little bit of the sticker on there, but I didn't block anything off now. dankennedyondemand.com/offer. Of course, when you do it right and you print it on both sides, even if the sticker comes out, they can just flip it over and see it on the other side. So bonus tip there. Headline, call to action on both sides. When you're sending a postcard, each side is independent. You don't know which side the person's going to read. Also, put it on several times in an email. Put it several times and very conspicuously on your website. You can repeat your call to action over and over and over, so you give clear directions of the next step you want people to take. How you want them to respond to your message. That's what's known as direct response marketing. And here's Dan Kennedy, is called the direct response marketing legend. You want to direct a response from the recipient. So you give a call to action telling them how to respond very clearly. Tell them on both sides of the postcard. Keep that URL meaningful, not Schlabinowitz and Rabofsky LLC.com if you're a law firm. How about divorce lawyer in Smithville.com? Okay, get a meaningful URL. That's it for the 5 tips plus the bonus tip for this week, for this day, for Direct Mail Monday. As always, let's see if we have any questions, comments, concerns. Craig Leach says hello. Hello, Craig. Was just talking about you with my beautiful wife Michelle the other day. We miss you. Hope you're doing fantastic, and you're having an A plus time in your life and your business. And Phil Brakefield is here, and Phil asks, do you think the headlines at the top of each side could be a bit better if the words were a little bolder? Interesting question. I would say that I would test the results to see. But you can see, let's dive in a little bit to the headlines because they're a little complex. It's worth diving into because a headline is by far the most valuable, most important part of any of your marketing, advertising, messaging, anything. Whatever time you spend on putting together the whole rest of the postcard or ad or email or whatever, you should probably spend 4 or 5 times as much of that time just on the headline alone. So we can dive into it a little bit, and you'll see here. Let's take this side, for instance. They're using black, then red. Actually, it's red underline, and then there's red bold. So there's all kinds of things going on here. So they are using bold for what they feel is the most important part, that a business owner would not even have to type a single keystroke. Oh, and there's one more tip I wanted to throw in. So I'm glad you asked this question, Phil, because I would have forgotten this last tip I have. But they've thrown in here, a business owner wants to save time and money. So this is all about time and effort, time, money, and effort. So this is, in other words, this is speaking, if you ask me, to the business owner that thinks, hey, I'm a landscaper, not an advertising expert. I don't know what to write. Sure, I'd love a kick-ass ad, but I don't even know what to write. Well, what if you didn't have to type a single keystroke? That's what happens to my clients. They hire me, and in advertising. So that's what this is saying here. Only you can't get me for $1, and here you can. You can get this for $1. So they are using the bold. They're using the red and the underline, and then they're using the, which this is also bold. It's not as bold as the red bold here, but that's more bold than the rest of the type. So I guess if you could see it in your hand, Phil, you would see that the headline does stand out. It's very clear that it stands out. It's centered, bigger type at the top. It's different type. This boring Courier, which is meant to be boring, by the way, so it's plain matter-of-fact Courier typewriter font is in the body, but at the top, it's an online font. It's a sans serif font, so it's a you don't see the squiggles there like on the offline copy that's down there. So it does stand out. It's bigger. It does have the red. They don't use red throughout any of the other copy on either side. So the red stands out. The underline emphasizes it, and there is bold. On this side, which one did I do? I did that side. No, I don't remember which one. I did that side. So let's do this side. Same thing on this side. They start with the black. Then they got the red underline, and then they got the red bold at the end. This one emphasizes the price. This is just $1 for the next 30 days. This one emphasizes the lack of needing any kind of expertise, knowledge, skill to make the phone ring off the hook, and not taking a lot of time either. 9 minutes, you don't even have to know what you're doing. Bang. So give us $1, run the ad that we suggest. Your phone rings off the hook. You make a ton of money. You've paid for your membership probably for years to come. In fact, they say that right here in the copy. Someone, if I hold it here for a while, maybe sometimes it unblurs. Someone will try it today. That's not unblurring. Write an ad or an email this afternoon and score a sale of $5,000 or more. Will it be you? And again, they use the bold to emphasize you. Will it be you? So yeah, that's the pitch here of this is you don't have to even know what you're doing, and you can make money thanks to this product. Now here's the bonus tip I'd almost forgotten when I was talking about how ugly. It doesn't have to be pretty. Well, doesn't have to even pass your 8th grade English teacher's desk. They could give you an F because I found a typo on here. There it is. So in this underlined sentence here, the end of it says, it will be a piece of cake for you, even if you've never wrote a single sales letter before. Even if you've never wrote. I believe that my 8th grade English teacher would tell me that word should be written. Even if you've never written a single sales letter, but it says if you've never wrote. And who cares? The grammar police, if this was online, would be putting all kinds of comments. Oh, typo. Oh, you can't. And the business owner laughs all the way to the bank. The person who sent out this postcard, I have no doubt, is making tons of money from it and is laughing all the way to the bank with anyone, because there's bound to be somebody who's going to go to this email, go to this website and send them some kind of a message and say like, hey, there's a typo in your thing. Look, if you're concerned, more concerned about a typo than you are with making money, again, you shouldn't be watching my videos. Watch the videos of your 8th grade English teacher, because they know all about proper grammar. Unfortunately, they don't know anything about how to help you make money in your business. And let's see if I got any other questions, comments, concerns. Craig Leach says, love you, love Dan Kennedy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And you're doing well. Tell Michelle I said hello, will do. Phil says, thanks, I agree. Hopefully, I don't know if he agrees with all that, because I went on and on and on. And Craig says, classic Dan. Craig Leach was a member of my Dan Kennedy chapter, my Glazer Kennedy Insider Circle chapter. Chicago, what was it called? The Chicago chapter. I forget what it was even called. It was like 10 years ago. But so I know, big fan and big proponent of Dan Kennedy stuff. Craig Leach, I know it's helped you make a ton of money. My next phase in prep is prepping for retirement. 5 to 8 years, and I'm retiring. Good for you. Love to hear it. Love to hear about the next phase of your life, because I'm sure you're not just going to retire and do nothing. You'll retire and do something else. It's great. And Craig says hello to Phil. They were both in one of my advanced Dan Kennedy mastermind groups back then. Phil says, betcha that copyright used wrote on purpose. And I bet you put copyright instead of copywriter on purpose. And yeah, that is possible that he even did that on purpose. I'm not thinking that, because I've gotten other stuff from him, and I will see that there. But I'm thinking it's from a rewrite. Just my opinion is that's from a rewrite. And Craig says good enough is good enough, which is true. you've got to find that GE spot in your business. What's good enough? In this case, I don't care, and I don't think anyone cares that wants to get an ad without having to think or do anything and just pay a buck and make a lot of money from it. I don't think they care whether this says if you've never wrote or never written. But I think it came from a rewrite where they might have said, even if you never wrote a single sales letter before, then they said, let's make that even if you've never written, and then they just forgot to change the word written. I just, in my experience, rewriting, which anything that works is undoubtedly not just whipped out from the seat of your pants. It's got expert copywriters, expert advertising, marketing, and sales experts, and we'll rewrite it over and over and over to make it right before we'll put a stamp on it or send it out on eBay or Facebook or whatever these things are, or send it in an email. That's what I meant to say, or anything. And most people just dash things off. So write up an email and send it out. Okay, big mistake. Pros don't do that. So I believe that was in the rewriting, that they rewrote that sentence over and over, and then they forgot to change the word at the end, and then they sent it out, and then somebody said, look, you forgot to change this word, and they said, I don't give a crap. It's still going to make a ton of money. So that's the bonus lesson right there. Another bonus lesson. So thanks, everyone. And Craig says you're right on that, Steve. I'll be consulting after your retirement. Way to go. So retire from running your bricks and mortar auto repair shop and get into the world of consulting, where you can still make a lot of money and you can help people to have the success that you had, and continue to enjoy your life on your own terms without having to physically go into a building and deal with all that. Good for you, Craig. Please keep me posted and let me know anything I can do to help you out. And that goes for everybody. Helpfromsteve.com. Helpfromsteve.com. That's capital H, capital F, capital S. Just kidding. Helpfromsteve.com. You can get on my calendar and ask me anything, and I'll help you out, point you in the right direction. Can't stay on all day, but I will help you out. Speaking of help you out, that's it for the help today on Direct Mail Monday. Thanks to Craig and to Phil for participating here. I record these usually around sunset, my time here in Arizona, every day. I always love when people come on at facebook.com/smallbizhelp is where I record these. Otherwise, thanks for watching the replay or reading it or listening to it, wherever you are. And I'll be back tomorrow on Topical Tuesday. I see one more thing hidden here. Craig said where it's warm. Yes, even in February. Well, in February or today, March, whatever. See, there's a verbal typo. Here in March, it's warm. In June, July, August, September, it'll be outrageously, inhumanly hot. However, we love it. And we are not shoveling any snow. I believe we're about to make it through another grueling, tough winter here. Of course, I jest. In sunny southern Arizona. Hope you are doing great wherever you are. Thanks again, Craig. Thanks, Phil. Thanks, everyone. Catch you tomorrow on Topical Tuesday. Over and out.